Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 372? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers 4, Aberdeen 0. I don't know what's the shock, Rangers 4 or Aberdeen 0 at home. And a comfortable one at Ibrox. Showing myself boxed here back in the show is AK. AK, give him a 2 halves, I suppose, the way the goals were scored, but I thought we deserved to win with the piece, mate. I think actually 4-0 flat at Aberdeen.
I was happy to see some goals, that's for sure. Some entertainment after that first 45 minutes, but a comprehensive win. And they were on the beach, I would say, the first half, but the second half they were back in the bar.
I couldn't understand the way we were set up in the first half. Raskin looked to be playing in the right. Young Connor Barron, who I actually thought was our best player in the first half, without being outstanding, neat and tidy. We just didn't get things right going forward, but the second mate was poor, obviously, with a couple of chances. One header, and we never really seen that one again. That I don't know if the goalie saved it or Dessers cleared it when the Tav crossed. I don't know if you remember that one, AK.
Aye, midway through the first half. It was a great ball in for Tavernier, but Dessers big miss by the look at for me.
Aye, well, obviously Dessers also had the one with the header. And I'm going to say it again, mate, it frustrates me. It frustrates me. Our players standing offside, mate. I get when you're trying to bend a run or trying, you know, the goals that, and Fenerbahce had no problems with the goals that Dessers got chopped off. It was unlucky striker playing. It was one of the things. But when you're actually standing offside, you're not getting away with VAR, and you just have to be smarter, mate.
Definitely. We wasted a great ball in for, I think it was wee Barron that slotted it through, but for goodness sake, he's at least a yard offside. He knows the line that Aberdeen have got. What is he doing? I mean, make sure you're up on side to receive the ball. It was a great finish there. It was a pity. The game came alive for the couple of minutes, didn't it?
Aye. Obviously, they had the goal chopped off. I wasn't worried about that neither. I could see that they were offside. Yeah. But so that was the frustration. That was about it in the first half. They had a chance when the boys, I think it was Suter sort of tackled the boy. And he fluffed his lines with his shot. They didn't offer a lot, mate, if I'm honest, in the first half. We'd had the ball without creating a lot. The possession they had was usually with their centre halves and back to their goalie, mate.
Mm-hmm. Aye, they certainly, for me, they set up coming just to nullify us and make it that kind of fest, which it turned out to be the first half. But I think Barry probably gave him a rocket. Second half, obviously made the sub Bizrami and Igaman come on, so it was a much better second half, thankfully. But the Aberdeen subs, I think, contributed to that as well, because they brought in positive Nisbet and that, and opened their shape a bit for us to penetrate in behind them.
Who did we take off at half time?
Bizrami went off and Igaman came on.
Are you sure?
You telling me different?
Oh, I never noticed Bizrami on the part, apart from the time.
You getting the right. The invisible man. I would take off somebody an empty jersey to bring on Igaman.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a bad kick. You know, he got a bad kick and obviously maybe affected his play. I don't think he was great before that, but I couldn't work out where he was playing. He wasn't playing. He was playing a slightly different position, and we all think his best position's out in the left, and he wasn't there a lot. You know, and Jeffrey, who came on to have no bad game second half without being outstanding, he wouldn't go forward in the first half when the space was there. Just go forward and use that fit you've got and put it in. Let other people make up their mind if it's a goal or not. You just get it in an area. You know, it's frustrating me, AK.
Well, you called it early doors in the season. You liked his intent and purpose to go forward and take that responsibility. I think it's obviously a lack of confidence with him.
Maybe.
He's feared to make a mistake. So rather than, take responsibility and go forward with the ball, he's looking for the easy pass inside and looking for others to kind of make things happen themselves.
At the right time, mate. I'm not saying they do it all the time, but at the right time. Yeah. So nothing each at half time. You wouldn't have predicted that scoreline, and I've got to be honest, mate. I'll say it again. That flattered Aberdeen, mate. Flattered.
Nah, they offered very little, didn't they? Is it Crocker that came out with a couple of stats that Aberdeen don't have a great record on the road. How different their season's changed for the start of the season to where it is now. But I think they're just, it was damage limitation for them. And when you see the stats, was it 55 visits to Ibrox and only came away with 3 victories? It's there probably just for a draw and get up the road. But it didn't materialise that way, thankfully.
No. So we opened the scoring. We'd had opportunities before that. With the ball in it.
Suter flashes one by the post, I've got.
When he rose at the back post, yeah?
Yep, aye. Unlucky there.
Aye, and then we gets a goal. Decent ball for Raskin. Good run for Cerny, who was playing inside by this point, yeah?
Yep,
and he runs through. I think he sticks it through the guy's legs, which you're not going to save. 1-0. Good goal, mate.
Definitely. For me, the ball for Raskin, defence splitting pass just shows you he's got that in his armoury. He was the guy. He was the one class act that we've got in our team that was willing to make things happen. And he was goal involvement in future goals as well.
Yes. Conor Barron could learn a lot from Nico Raskin, mate. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
A lot. Yeah.
Barron's development's way behind where Raskin is now, but you're right, he can learn a lot.
You've got to be able to do both sides. So we gets a goal and you're thinking, okay. And then we gets a second. Again, I can't remember who played the ball to Raskin. Was it Iggerman played the ball to Raskin?
The goal with Dessers, Raskin assist I've got, with Cerny picking it up as well.
That must have been Cerny, maybe played it, nice weighted pass. I'm thinking to myself initially, my initial thoughts were, Raskin get it in. He has a nice shimmy, mate. Takes him out, plays it in, and Dessers in the traditional centre forward position at that time. Simple goal. He'd get himself another 10 a season. Right time, right place, mate, yeah?
Oh, McCoy's made a career out of it, didn't he? Just making the right movement, being known where to be. Front post, back post. Front post, you get a hell of a lot of goals. That's just, it should be natural instinct for a striker to go there. But it was a great move. Raskin, you say, hitting the byline, Crosser comes along, and there you go, 2-0 Rangers.
Yes. And then the highlight of the game, a couple of minutes for young Iggerman. We breaks away, and I thought we'd made a bit of a mess of it, if I'm honest, AK. The ball breaks to the edge of the box, there's something there, and he pulls it up with 1 foot, strikes it. What a goal.
Some volley, wasn't it?
Oh,
he's probably the only guy that we've got on our team that's got the invention to do something like that. He pulls it out the air, as you say, the control, and then just to volley it for the edge of the box. Catches the goalkeeper unawares, and the dip on it as well. Make sure it's going into the net and no blazing near the bar. Brilliant goal, 3-0.
We've also got to talk about his skill out in the wing, mate, when he puts it over the guy's head.
Aye. He's something different. He gets you bums off his seats, doesn't he? No, there was that many. What we estimating the crowd? I knew it wouldn't be a full house. You're talking about 40,000 or maybe less.
40,000, I'll take that, mate. I would think so, mate. Yeah.
But aye, he's an entertainer, and he's one of the very few that we've got in our team that we'll enjoy watching.
All right, okay. Listen, we're going to have to put it out there. Come and join us. Not on 141 356 1972 at this time. We cannot take calls for the phone lines, but you can join us in Teams. And if you had Teams or Skype as it was before, we'll still have a contact for Rangers Radio. If you haven't, send a contract request to Rangers Radio on Teams, and we'll bring you straight into the call. We cannot take phone calls at this time. All right, okay, for everybody listening. So we gets the third goal, and then we gets a fourth. Well, Jeffrey's goal, I don't know if it was getting in with Cerny. He seemed to brush off his hip and then go into the goal. But in between that, the Aberdeen keeper had a couple of decent saves. Lawrence, I think that took a deflection. Danilo, and another one low down by Cerny, mate. So really, as I said, 4 flat Aberdeen at the finish. Yeah. If that's, I don't know how that is based on their starting 11 or their best 11, or if there's players injured, mate. I don't know, because I don't really study any other team. However, they're a poor side, mate. A real poor side, because we know we've got issues, mate.
Aye, there was saying that the game opened up the second half, as I say, that the Aberdeen changes for me. If they didn't make them, that could very well have been a 0-0 game. But that opened up the day. I mean, Kelly made a few good saves as well. Important.
Aye, when it was nothing each, there was that one. I mean, obviously Barron made a mess of one, and Tavernier. I don't know what he was thinking about trying to play to Barron, mate. Yeah.
And they hit the post early doors the second half as well.
Aye.
So they did have their chances, but certainly defensively and midfield, we seemed to find the lines, find the gaps. But it was great play for Cerny a lot of times, Raskin penetrating boys, and obviously good finishing off of Dessers and Igaman.
Aye. By the way, Dessers might have put the cross of the game in the first half, out wide in the left, mate.
Aye, didn't he half? Aye. You'd be wanting to be on the end of one of them, wouldn't you?
Aye. So listen, I would take that. We know where we are. We know it's the end of the season. There's issues, and with players are going to change going forward. But it was a good result for the fans. Obviously, we should have held on last week, maybe won the game. We didn't. But however, we went 4-0, a clean sheet, which will please a lot of people, AK.
Aye, particularly defence and the management. And speaking of the management, that's the monkey off the back now for Barry, so he'll enjoy his beer tonight. I'm pleased for Barry, to be honest with you. He's come in difficult circumstances. We know a great level of player to work with, but he's had to pick him up a few times, and I think whatever they said to him at half time, they certainly got the message across to him. But you shouldn't really need that, though, Ox. It should be the responsibility of the player themselves.
I think we've regressed under the coaching team, mate. I know that players' confidence might have went. I think some of the times the message has been too complicated and we've not got it right, mate. Even the first half when Raskin was playing in the right, I don't know where they're coming from, mate. I really don't at times, yeah.
Aye.
But the second half, if you want to give the coaching staff credit for that, by all means, everybody's entitled to it. But I mean, I'm pleased for everybody connected with the club, Barry and the coaching staff, when we win a game against our modern day rivals in their heats. You can see how much the Rangers support care about that game.
No, I know. But that's a big game for them coming down to Glasgow, and they think that they've an opportunity there to, come to Ibrox and get a win against us. But thankfully we managed to acquit ourselves well the second half. The subs for us, I thought, made a positive impact on the game as well. I know Barry's had his critics for the changing subs and the formations and stuff, but bringing on young Rice, gave him good minutes there. I thought he acquitted himself. I was pleased to see Cash and Weirno get minutes there, and Lawrence. what a free kick that was as well. Good save with the keeper.
I thought it took a nick, mate. I don't know if you've seen it.
Did it?
I thought so. I'd need to see it back to say 100%, but I thought it took a deflection, mate. Still a decent strike. I still can't understand that, mate. I still can't understand him even being involved. Yeah.
I know. It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, you've got young Curtis that's sitting on the bench. You mentioned earlier, McCallion could have been involved. Give him minutes. Give him 10, 15 minutes here. It's a meaningless game at the end of the day, isn't it? So if they're making their debut, it's going to be a big day for their family and get them used to the environment. They're hopefully going to be in for years in front of them.
Aye. I don't think we'll be alone in that. So as we're saying, come as join us in Teams. Just contact Rangers Radio in Teams and we'll be able to bring you straight into the call. But easy, can it? Even we mastered it.
Yeah, if we can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, Billy managed it last week and Nerd Marmot managed it today. So, aye, it is there. Set yourself up with Teams, come in and join us.
Yes, join us, give us your thoughts. I wouldn't disagree with the piece. I thought that I thought Conor Barron was our best player in a pretty average first half, but the best football player on the parkour and for us in the second half was Nico Raskin. Cerny came into the game, and Iggerman will grab some of the headlines for some of his entertainment, AKA.
Oh, definitely. It's he's just something different, isn't he? There's that wee maverick kind of bit about him. There's a selfless acting as well. I mean, he'll weigh people in, but he likes to have a shot at goal. And well, we've seen some belters off him already, and there and are one the day for the collection. He doesn't score many tap-ins, the boy, does he?
No. Considering they're going to get a pre-season under his belt, and he's raw, and it's his first professional games. You know, he could be a big asset going forward. But Dessers gets his goal, mate. Gets one chapped off. Involved in a couple of other chances. I'll say it again, mate. The biggest enigma I've ever known.
Aye. If he would just do the simple things and be in the right place at the right time, but he can help himself with a lot of their goals. I mean, last week he scores a great goal, but then there's a fresh air swipe in the box, and for me that sums him up. The day he has another moment of madness, just keep yourself on side, and then you've opened the scoring again. So he's 26 goals this season. Cerny's on 18 for the season, so there is goal contributions there, but unfortunately for us, no enough.
Here's, I'm going to have a go, mate. The officials got that right, mate. They gave that goal.
The first one?
Yes.
The Dessers goal? That's poor then. That's poor. So it was VAR that chopped that off. When you seen the line, it was obvious. So I don't know why the linesman's not getting that, to be honest with you. I mean, the Aberdeen goal was obvious as well, wasn't it? When you see that.
I mean, the linesman had gave that, but they just checked it, yeah.
Right.
But our goal, the referee and the linesman gave the goal, mate.
Right. Well,
to be fair, when all the experts and all the panel and all the VAR thing in Scotland think that Maeda's no storing offside last week into the same goal, it's beyond me, but there you go.
I know. That's ridiculous decision. I know they're saying that it's no affecting the line of the keeper's eye, but he's obviously aware that he's got a Celtic player to his right-hand side. If he saves that comes off the post, he's aware that guy's going to react to the ball first. So that's going to affect his decision to even go for the ball. It should have been offside, but there's no point in greeting about it.
But what I'm saying is, we've talked about officials. We're mentioning them again when they've chopped off a goal of ours, mate. That's how bad they are. They gave that goal, mate. And it was storing offside.
Well, I watched one yesterday. Who was it again? Leighton Orient game. I don't know if you caught that one, Ox. And the guy was clearly offside for that as well. But they don't have VAR. there, and the linesman missed it. So it can happen, but I don't know. Are you in favour of the VAR? Would you rather it wasn't there and just let mistakes happen?
I think you're stuck with it now, mate. It's not going anywhere, so there's no point debating it. Yeah, it's changed the game, mate. It's changed the game. Playing it forward, you can't let people forwards can't just try and nick in and just anticipate and they get the fraction of the second, because if they get the fraction of a second, you're going to gain offside. You've got to play onside rather than play offside now as a forward, and the complete opposite as a defender. So it's changed the game, mate, and we'll see where it goes. I don't like the amount of goals it chops off. Yeah, because games are about scoring goals, but ultimately we're talking about one of our goals, and we're agreeing that it was offside. So if that gets the right decision, and if it goes for you, you're quite happy. You know what I mean?
Aye. I know what you mean. I mean, I think it's the officials need to try and be quicker though with their decisions. I watched a French game last night for my sins, and honestly, the decisions were split. You know, it was done within 30 seconds, less than a minute, and the game carries on. That's what you want to see. That's how it should be implemented. Any time that ours happens, I mean, even when Aberdeen score, in the end of the first half, I think there was only meant to be two minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and it was like the 49th minute when Aberdeen score, because of the delay for looking at Odessa's goal. You know, so they need to be quicker.
Aye, the lines, and they've got a different system in England, didn't they? They've got some automated offsides now, mate, but it comes through really quick. But obviously, that costs money, you know.
Aye. Well, we don't. Christ, some of the camera angles, is it Motherwell and Hibs and that, they can't get to the byline. Mind we'd a goal. In fact, it was at Aberdeen, wasn't it? They argued that the ball was out and we argued the ball was in. We scored off it and we ended up getting chopped off because they don't have a camera on the line, and the ref or the linesman for the other side of the park calls it out, so that they can't go against them. So it's ludicrous, some of the decisions that the officials make through the VAR.
All right, I'll tell you what, we've got Mr. Cerny. We're going to hear from him, hear what he's got to say. So get yourself on mute and let's hear from one of today's goal scorers.
Václav, a home win, how good a feeling is that today?
Obviously, very good one. We waited for, I would say, longer than expected. So we really wanted to win this game, and obviously we all happy we did that, and also the way we did that, especially the second half. So yeah, a bit of a relief and a good win.
Was it just a case in the second half of just a bit more quality and being clinical?
Yeah, that's what we said to each other in the dressing room at the half time. So we adjusted a few things, and yeah, we were definitely more clinical, and we were searching for the first goal, obviously first half as well, but luckily we got it quite quickly, and yeah, the game gets easier then.
Your 50th appearance for Rangers today, and on the score sheet, how good a feeling was that to get back on the score sheet?
Delighted. I want to score every game. I want to assist every game, as you know me for a while now. So very, very glad I could do that again, and looking forward for the last two games.
Some people thought you might have got a second, but it looks like it hit off Jeff Day. His goal, or are you still claiming it?
Obviously, we all know it's my goal, but no. Very happy for Jefte, because I was joking with him actually for quite some time now, and I told him I need one goal from him this season, and this is the best way possible he could get it. So very happy for him.
It was a great assist. 50 games, as I said, for Rangers. What have you learned in this season about yourself, and how much have you developed?
A lot. Obviously, this has been the season for me personally, with the most games I've ever played. Obviously, I was struggling with two ACLs in the past, so I was never able to play this amount of games, this amount of minutes per game, and you know, I'm just so happy, especially after those two big injuries. I'm 27. So the best age, obviously, but I was very looking forward to have a season like this, in terms of games and be able to be available for so many games. So delighted with that, and 50 games in the season. It's plus national team. Obviously, it's quite something, and I'm so happy I have it in me.
What does that mean then for your thinking about going forward, about where you go next and how big a decision you have?
Obviously, it's a big decision to be made. To be honest, very honest, I have 2 games to go, with every possibility still open. So not focusing on that. After this, I've got the national team as well. So believe me or not, I really focused on those 2 last games for this club, and obviously I'll see.
Well done today. You are the William Hill Premiership Player of the Match. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hope stood a bridge here, AK. Aye, listen, good luck to Basketball Cerny. But his numbers are good. I didn't realise he had 2 ACLs. There just shows you, mate. I thought I knew he'd 1. I didn't know. We know he's a good football player. It's whether how much you'd spend in the budget going forward. And it'll depend if the new manager's interested or not. Everybody sees the game differently. But you can't take away that he's got some qualities. I mean, he's not the type to go through a brick wall for you. He's not a type to go and hit it. He's not the type to chase back. But he has got some qualities, mate, yeah.
Oh, definitely. That's unquestionable. His numbers back that up. You just compare him to Ryan Kent's numbers in his last season or his last couple of seasons. He was nowhere near the numbers that Cerny's got this season, and Seema had last season, and Tillman had the season before that. So our loan buys or our loan, players for that position of the park has certainly proved fruitful. But I believe we've been joined with Dalmarnock there, Ox.
Yes, Mr. Dalmarnock. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, lads. We need to let Kent go, don't we? £7 million kind of worth it or no. Many disagree, you know what I mean? But Cerny, much would he be worth if he even wanted to come? I don't think it sounds too. It doesn't sound like if he wants to come in that interview. I don't think.
He's got a year. He's got a year left in his contract, mate. So if he was worth £7 million last summer, he ain't worth £7 million now. Because let's be honest, anybody can sign him in a few months' time for nothing.
Yep. Aye, it's up to him, innit? And he might know he'll get better. But was it Wolfsburg?
Aye.
So he's still with them. Much would we be willing to pay for him? Much wages can we give him compared to other clubs? But there is a bit of quality there, but no, nobody's going to argue against it.
He's got pluses to his game, mate. Going forward, he's got negative to his game after the ball, and if you're expecting somebody to put a shift in defensively, that's not his game, mate. That's how I see it, no matter.
I think
after you.
I think it's still, it can be predictable at times with that, just cutting the same line all the time, going on his left foot all the time. But I don't know, did they move more central there that second half?
Aye, come in and played more the number 10 role, I feel like. Yeah.
Which I thought was a good position for him.
Game of day, mate, but we couldn't judge anybody in that game of day as such, mate, because I thought we won that easy at the end up and against a team that were very poor, mate, if I'm honest.
I guess
some of it was down to us playing some decent stuff, but they were at 6s and 7s in my opinion, Dalmarnock. Don't know what you thought, AK.
Oh, definitely. I mean, just looking at the stats there, Dalmarnock, again, welcome to the show, pal. Thanks for phoning in. I'll run through the stats here, Ox. I don't know if you've caught them, but our XG was 2.37, 70% possession, with 24 shots on goal, 11 on target, 7 corners, and goalkeeper saves. We had 4 and they had 7. So we certainly peppered them. As I say, that the changes in personnel that we made and what they made, I think, contributed to the open second half. But Kelly made a couple of good saves again, particularly early in the second half. They hit the post, but once we get the goal in the second goal, it really opened up then. And Igaman coming on, proved that spark. Cerny, the problem for me is our finance. You see, if we've got every player out of contract and we want our best players, I think we go for Cerny. The problem for us is we've already got Danilo, $6 million contract, whatever wage. We've already got Bajrami, whatever wage he's on. I think it's 3.7 or something. Cortez, we've made a obligatory contract for him and whatever wage he's on. Butland, Tavernier. We're going to get rid of Lawrence and probably Hadji. So it's financial decisions that's going to dictate whether we go back in for him, I think, Ox. And I think you're right. £7 million, that'll probably come down to maybe 5.5. But it's still a big outlet for us going forward.
Aye. Listen, you might sign him after today's performance. I don't know if he'd have signed him after last week's performance. Don't matter, but that's forward players. You score a goal, you have a good game. He's involved in some nice play at times. It comes after you. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. But listen, I get he's a good player. First of all, I'd only sign him if he wants to come to us. If he starts messing us about, don't do it, mate. Yeah, don't do it. We want players that want to play for our club, yeah?
Aye, just if he starts humming and hawing and wanting to give me a couple of weeks to think about it, just shut the door on him, move on. There's no time to hang about and wait for players. We've got Champions League qualifiers coming up a couple of weeks earlier than we really wanted, but it is what it is. We need to get some players in. A lot of the rubbish out, and we need a team gelling. We need the manager. So it's a big start of the season, and we really need to get in this. We need that money in this Champions League, regardless of how much money the 49ers will bring in. We don't know. We don't know about sponsorships, etc., to try balance the books. But getting through to the Champions League groups is a must. That'd be a good kick-off for us. Know what I mean? The season and bring more money in, but big changes ahead in it. But today, in the course, Cerny has contributed. You know what I mean? In the course of the season, and there is only maybe a handful of that squad you could say contributed as much as they should have. But the rest failed us, didn't they? Let's be honest. But that whole squad, even the big money players, failed us. But we need to move on.
Aye. Listen, mate, things have changed. There's people in there who on that part of the day who'll become assets for us. Raskin, maybe Diamandi, Igamand, I think definitely. There's guys coming at the end. Tavernier, maybe Balogun as well, and then young Yefty could be an asset. Suter, we'll see where it goes with him in his contract. Cerny's on loan, and then you've got the big enigma and the starting players, Dessers. And listen, maybe I thought he'd do a bad game last week, but if we could recoup more money and shake hands and let him go, Bajrami, I don't know. I'll be polite, AK, and I'll say Scottish football doesn't suit him.
I agree with most of what you said there. Bajrami, you can't afford to have that sort of outlet for finances and be oblivious in a lot of the games. He's Albanian international. He makes an impact in the stage of the Euros. Scored against Italy, I think, from memory. But he's played in Serie A there, so I was expecting better of him. I'm expecting to see Cortez that we don't see again. That's a concern. Cashin Werner looked decent. We put him into right centre back there, rare than moving Tavernier in. So that makes me think that there might be a future there for him for next season. But the finances are going to dictate a lot of decisions getting made now, Ox. And as you say, it's down to not just the new owners. They've got to liaise with Director of Football, Niels Coppin, or might maybe have a say, but the big one is the manager. Does he want him? And is possibly Abdul Asima a target for us? I think he was maybe into his last year of his contract with Brighton. I know he went to Brest, but I would rather have them there rather than Cerny. But I don't know what you guys think.
Well, obviously, when we were linked to him last season, he had 2 years his contract to go. Same argument for, he's doing it a year. So you might be able to come with some deal. But again, mate, if a manager wants him and he wants to come to our club, yeah, that's important. That's what counts for me. But and you come to Mullock.
I'd love to get Seema back. It was a shame I never got him last year because he was a match winner. And getting him for another year, then you're basically in pole position, aren't you, for signing? I think I quite like the club, but again, that's just it's not back to the manager. Isn't it? It's just I think it fitted into the club well, but again, it's to the manager. We don't know who we're going to get. It could be Englishman, it could be a German, it could be hopefully not a Scot. Dare I say it? But Casemiro, was he not alone as well?
Listen, mate, the way that Tillman deal fell out and fell into place and worked against us, worked for us, and we didn't know what was happening. I would like to guess what any of the deals are, mate. Yeah?
Yeah, we were kind of gazumped there. It wasn't right the way they just basically bought themselves out it. Was it? A deal's a deal. But again, Tillman probably didn't. He's holding aces as well, isn't he? And if he doesn't want to come back, you're snookered. They've got too much power, the players. But I thought Casemiro, I think he looked really promising. Not just on the day or anything, but just before his injury, I thought he was. And again, typical Rangers luck in it. Nobody even tackled him. I think he was in the byline, in the left hand side himself, and he just twisted I think it was his knee, and you're going, that's just due luck. The injuries, we've just been so bad this season and past season. And is that Dr. Waller still there? I've not seen him a bit for a while.
Well, I think he's finishing. I don't know. It was this season, at the end of this season, mate. But we'll see where it takes us. But with the doctor, everything's going to be new at the club going forward, mate. I think he was retiring at the end of the season, mate. That was my understanding. AK?
I think you're right there, Ox. I think Dr. Waller's retiring. Manager and the ownership will probably be looking at all these things already, Dalmarnock. I think they've got to be, because they've got to look to improve everything. They'll look at the aspect of who we bought, how many games have they played, why they missed. Is it legit injuries? Sterling's obviously legit with his Achilles, and there's been other ones, Balogun and Danilo, in that way, the kind of facial injuries and stuff. But they've got to delve a bit deeper than what they're doing and get to the bottom of a lot of these things. Was it Gerrard that came in, or Clement came in, and he said that they weren't even using a certain machine, the Chrysler thing for recovery, and that's just amateurish, isn't it? You're paying a fortune for all these things and you're not utilising them as they should be done.
It was the ice chamber, wasn't it? Just for recovery and stuff like that. And you're thinking, so why is that even switched on? You know what I mean? It's bizarre that it wasn't getting used. Just amateur hour. You know what I mean? People, you need to look at all your resources. Not just your human resources, your physical stuff, and for that to be sitting there unplugged is just bizarre. Totally bizarre. It's like a joiner sitting with his jigsaw and his toolkit and he's not using it. You know what I mean? It's just wild. But there we go. It's just the 49ers. So we just need to look at everything at the football, at the club. Something will not need to change, hopefully, but there's a lot. I think there's room for improvement right across.
New broom sweeps clean, and obviously that's another team that I thought, we're rubbish and they're so good and all that. That's another team where the season will beat. Aberdeen we took 7 points off of them. It's mental way in it. You'd have thought, I mean, we know we'll get issues, and some of them think they've got no bad side.
Nah, that's just Scottish football. When you see the gap for us to Aberdeen and Hibs and the rest of Scottish football, there's no competition there, isn't there? No, so it's up to us to get our act together. We know that, but we really need to get our act together and put a proper challenge together, not just in the league, but cups and Europe. That's what our club's about. That's why everybody's so disappointed at this stage of the season. You're usually looking forward to a cup final, aren't you? So everybody needs a refresh and then come back again.
We just need to win football matches at the right time, and go and be consistent. We went and beat Aberdeen 4-0. We kept a clean sheet. We've struggled at Ibrox, let's be honest, on Marnock. Since about February, it's been a struggle.
It's been poor. There was no one point we couldn't get an away win, then we started winning away.
It's in the full circle. It's in the full circle.
It's bizarre, know what I mean? But it's, as you say, we've essentially we've done what we should have done against them. And it's just against the rest of the so-called lower teams, know what I mean, in the league. And that's the one you need to be. That's beating them every week. That's the one that wins your league. You build your points base up in the course of the season, and whatever happens between us and them, then normally swings it. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's dumbfounding, really. But isn't it? Everything's on all eyes on next season, and we need a forward line that can just break through that low block. That's what we need to do. You just need to come down and destroy teams first half an hour in that low block. Only some teams will come and try to play football against us. But again, there's no fear, is there? There are real teams having any fear. Ibrox did used to be a fortress, and teams would become in fear to getting scalps. And in the last few years, it's not been there. We've gave strength to other teams because we've not been consistent enough. Yeah.
You have to come out and play with intent. You have to have pace. You have to get men forward. You have to get a ball in the box. Even if you take that first half of the day, we made loads of opportunities, mate. We weren't quick enough. We made the wrong decisions at times. And also, sometimes there's only dessers in the box.
Aye, and we're still doing it. We're still waiting for the left and the right backs to come up to take the shies. Again, that's just wrong. I mean, there needs to be a mentality of it. First, the guy who's nearest the ball, he should always be looking for the quick shy or the quick free kick. And see if it's known or there's a chance it's on, play it. But if no, then get the kicker up or get the guy normally takes the shy up. But as I say, you always need to be looking for the opportunity. First guy at the ball, you should always be going to grab the ball. I think there's one time in that first half where somebody ran to take the shy, and I think it was the midfield and the defence there really ran up to kind of take a quick one. You're going, where are these? Well, it's still nothing each, and you seen the player run there to take a quick shy, and there was nobody front of fucking, excuse English, nobody to get it to him, nobody to pass it. So there's a lot of things in the philosophy side of things that were just too ponderous, too slow. That square pass across your back, rather than just try to be inventive and play football. Well, football is about finding the right pass, splitting teams open, and creating opportunities and taking them. And we're just too slow. Then that the defence is getting behind the ball, midfield's getting behind the ball, and you're snookered. You know what I mean? So,
aye. Well, we played well second half of the day, so we're going to give some credit in the day, okay, but I get to Marnock's point about collectively the whole season, yeah.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's not telling any lies. Our eyes don't lie. We're all seeing the same thing, but how many 90-minute performances have we had over the course of this season and probably last season and the season before that and all? We just seem to play in spells. And for me, that's going out there with the ring attitude and no being up for the first whistle and then letting you, it drop in spells and again. You've got to keep the intensity up. The crowd's got to stay with you. I mean, there were spells in that game where iBooks without the UB would have been dead. It's a library, so there's a two-way responsibility. The players have got to gain encouragement and entertain the crowd, and then the crowd's got to get behind the team. And we seem to have lost that synergy that Clement spoke about when he came in the building. So I think there's just a lot of apathy about the club now, and we just want the season done and move forward with whatever we've got in the future. And we hope it's going to be a positive impact for us.
We have to get... We're waiting for change. We know there's going to be change, and the first thing we're waiting for, I don't know, the takeover will happen first on Marnock, and then the manager, and then we'll see where it's gone, because it's the manager that's going to make the decisions.
Aye. As I say, we don't need to wait to the end of these last couple of games either. I mean, it's just if get it signed and sealed and get the manager sign his deal as well and get it out there. But I 4-0 the second half. Let's take a wee positive for that. It was quite good. The only highlight I had for the first half was the Union Bears banner, Free Soonest, which I thought was quite funny.
Aye,
that?
Not at all, aye.
And a wee bit of criticism for the board there as well. A board that are just they're no one point, are they, really? They've got the ones currently sitting there have just got so much so wrong for us. So I bring on the change. Sorry I keep on talking about the future, because we've got nothing really we should be happy, but we would be happy at a 4-0 another time, but we're all just, the season's a wipeout, and as much as beating Aberdeen 4-0 is fantastic, isn't it? As much as the first half is poor, but onwards and upwards, we're just picking 180 minutes to go here, then we're hoping for big changes. I'm sure every fan is.
Yes. Listen, we've got Barry Ferguson, but we're going to keep that for tomorrow night, so we can build on the show for tomorrow night. But last word for your good self, Tom Barnock.
Just thanks for having us on the show. It's always a pleasure. Almost to Wednesday. That's it.
Yeah. AK.
Pleasure as always, Tom Marnock. Yourself, Share, the techie team, and everybody that's listening. At least we had a good 4-0 victory. No to spoil our weekend this weekend, so taking the games off. Look forward to Wednesday and the rest of the shows this week. Thanks again, Ox.
Yeah, thanks to Tom Marnock for jumping in and joining us, AK for joining us on the show, and of course, Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the day. 4-0 at home, Aberdeen. Take it away, Old School Blue.